for the projectile motion lab here. So when you go on to the website, you're going to select the intro one. It doesn't actually matter that much, but the intro one's the one we're going to use for this particular lab. And so there's a few things you can change with this. So the first thing you can change is you can change the height of this cannon here that's launching the projectile just by clicking on the height there and moving it up and down. If you come down here using the slider bar or using these arrows, you can change the initial launch speed so it launches faster or launches slower, and we can see that as we fire things out of it. We also are able to change the angle by clicking on the end of the cannon here and tilting it up or even tilting it down. For the first part, we're going to keep it horizontal, as it says in the directions. We are going to adjust the height and launch speed to what we want, and each time we want to launch it, we're just going to hit that launch button, that red launch button there. If you do finish a trial and you want to clear out those launches, you can just hit the eraser button here and then make whatever adjustments you need. The other really important thing is the tool that we're going to use to take measurements. So I'm going to launch something real quick. And the tool I'm going to use is this tool right here. So if I just go click it and drag it out, it allows me to get various measurements about the projectile. Do be careful though, because what the measurements you're going to get is the measurements for the position that you place it over. So right now we have the time there of 0.4 seconds, range of 6 meters. That range is just the horizontal distance here, and the height of 9.22 meters, but that's for this particular point here. So for a lot of this lab, we want when it gets to the very end, and I know for a fact that this is the end when it hits the ground because I see this height of 0 here. So you do want to be careful that you're measuring the correct point before you start placing them down. As we see, as I move throughout this launch, there are a lot of different points there, and I don't necessarily want all of them. One last thing to do, and this really is unnecessary for the lab, but it's something a little bit fun, is you can change the object. So if you want to say launch piano rather than a pumpkin, you can do that and it will launch a piano through the air. It doesn't change any of the data or measurements. We see it hit at the exact same spot as the pumpkin, but if you want to mess around with that, feel free.